This is from Dog Pound Daily. These are what they think are the three position groups with the most competition to make the 53-man roster. Number one, they say linebacker. Number two, they're going to go with wide receiver, and they've added to that position group both via trade and draft. And number three, they say tight end. So when you look at those, which of those do you think has the most competition, or do you think there's another one that's going to have even more competition to make the 53-man roster?
Yeah, I think I'm going to go off the board and go D line. And if you want to go D tackle and D end separately, that's fine. But I mean, I think a D tackle first, right? And they have Tomlinson, Hurst, Harris, Ika, Jefferson, and then they draft Mike Hall Jr. And they drafted Jawan Briggs, right? So all those guys aren't going to make this team, right? Maybe do five of those guys make this team. So I think that's a really difficult spot. And then even defensive end, you go Myles Garrett, Zadarius Smith, Obo Okoronkwo, Alex Wright. You know, you have Elijah McGuire, who they drafted last year, Isaiah Thomas the year before, right? So you had a bunch of guys at both those spots. Those would move ahead of the three. Receiver's interesting because it's receiver, but you're really fighting for one or two spots at the bottom. And tight end, you know, I just don't see a whole lot of candidates there, tight end.
Yeah, I'm with you with defensive tackle. And think about it. A couple of years ago, that was a position that was bare. You know, you kept wondering what are they going to do for defensive tackles, and boy, that changed in a hurry in a year last year.
Yeah, they made it a priority, right? And it felt like it hadn't been a priority, and they made it a priority. Part of that was Jim Schwartz coming on as coordinator and really stressing that defensive line as the engine. I think part of it was they said the play wasn't good enough, right? But I don't know. You know, I listed off all those guys. You know, Mike Hall Jr. is a lock. Tomlinson's a lock. Um, you know, after that, you know, I guess I'm not sure if you would surprise me if any of those guys wasn't here, even though a bunch of them got re-signed, a bunch of them got contracts. Ika was a high draft pick. Like, it's just too many guys.
Yeah, and again, it's going to be competition, and that's what Andrew Berry and Kevin Stefanski have said they wanted. There going to be a lot of competition in that defensive tackle room.